Man, I'll say it one more time. Good evening, everybody. I am so excited to be here. It's such a pleasure to see everybody and a chance to participate in this event. So, about 3 weeks ago, I was in Libya, and I was coaching a basketball team in the 2025 Afro-Basket tournament. Team did okay, not so bad. But after that, I traveled through to South Africa to visit some friends, and while I was there, they told me that the NBA had just sponsored a new basketball court. So I decided, I need to go over and see that new basketball court. It's an NBA court. Well, sometimes when I get around basketball, I just get really excited, and I sometimes think I can actually still play. This was one of those days. So as I walk in now, everybody's asking me, did you think you were 25? Did you? Nope, I didn't think I was 25. I just thought maybe I could move slow enough to make a shot here and there. So the next thing I remember, I thought I had on a Chicago Bulls uniform. And I was actually coming down on the fast break with the ball. And when I looked to the right, I could have swore I saw Michael Jordan. And then I looked to the left, and I could have swore it was Scottie Pippen. This was a real flashback. So as I planted my right leg to pass the ball to Scottie Pippen, I heard snap, crackle, pop. And immediately took a nice little fall. And when I got up, I looked around to see if Michael and Scottie were still there, and I realized, nope, they never were there. You're in South Africa, and now you have a ruptured Achilles. So it was very discouraging at the moment, and that's the reason why I have the big boot on my right leg. When I got back to Orlando, I went in to see my orthopedic, and he said, well, you know, when you rupture your Achilles, you got to stay off of it for 4 weeks. Can't put any pressure on it. You got to just leave it alone. And I said, I can't do that. He said, why? I said, because I got to go to Michigan State. He's like, no, you can't go. He said, you've got to keep it elevated or you're going to prolong it and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And I said, listen, this guy doesn't know about Spartan will. He doesn't know. So as he was telling me, no, you're not going to go, I was thinking, I'm going to be at Michigan State in a short amount of time, and I'm going to see a bunch of old friends, and I'm going to have a chance to be a part of something that's extremely special and very dear to my heart. So Spartan will is strong, and it's real, and our athletes do it, our president does it, our athletic director, everybody does it because we believe we can. There's so many people I have to thank, okay? There's so many people I have to thank, and some of the people are here, some are not. So I have to get through this list, or I'm not going to feel really good about being up here. But I have to thank my mom. I know she's up in heaven looking down and still praying for all of us because that's what she did every single day. I have to thank my brothers, Jay, Joe, Johnny. They've been along on this journey, and it wasn't always easy. I was the youngest, and Jay used to try to beat me up every day. Okay, he was bigger, stronger, but he couldn't catch me. Okay, and the other two brothers had to defend me. So those were just the challenges of being the youngest of 5 boys. But I survived it and got through. I've got some teammates here from my 1981 Lansing Eastern Championship team. Jim Keaton, put a hand up, Big Jim. And Jeff Lynch. Jeff Lynch is here. Where's Jeff? Where's Jeff Lynch? Somebody told me he was working with one of the wrestlers. I don't know about that, but he did some wrestling when he was on the Lansing Eastern basketball team too. We didn't have to worry about much because Jeff was always there. And the other half, he didn't make it tonight, but please tell Jim I said hello. The better side of our Lansing Eastern basketball team, the cheerleaders, we got a couple of them here as well. So if our cheerleaders would please giveaway. I have to recognize them, guys, because this was a very special team and a very special group and very dear to my heart. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here. My first job, guys, as a 13-year-old in Lansing, I had a chance to work at the student bookstore on Grand River. And there was a wonderful gentleman named Howard Ballline, who was the owner of the student bookstore. And from that opportunity, I had a chance to make friends with his two sons, Greg and Brad, who are here. Greg and Brad Ballline, please put a... I'll never forget those days packing books in the back. They were fun times and definitely much appreciated, and their lovely wives are here as well. And I also want to thank the love of my life who's here, supporting me, trying to keep me from moving too far left or too far right. Ellen, I really appreciate what you do, all the support. Thanks for what you do. It's not easy. And then most importantly, guys, I want to thank the MSU Hall of Fame Selection Committee. I know there's a lot of amazing athletes that they have a chance to choose from. But the selections tonight, I had a chance to go back and look at everybody's bio, just fantastic. Such an amazing group of athletes, and I am really honored to be able to go into the Hall of Fame with this class. Very, very special. Excited to be here, and of course, congratulations to you guys as well. I also want to quickly say thanks to Coach Judd Heathcote. Coach Heathcote was tough, guys, and as I got older and began coaching, I began to understand that the reason why he was so tough was because he cared so much. And Tom Izzo, who we all know and love now, is doing an amazing job with the basketball program. He was a grad assistant for 2 years on that coaching staff, but he got mentored by one of the best coaches in collegiate basketball history. And that was part of what has really created the basketball championships mentality that Tom uses now. And the program had a chance to watch the grind week. You got guys coming back, supporting the next generation of players. Michigan State basketball is at an all-time high. Great job by Coach Tom Izzo. For me, everything started in 1977. And I want to talk about 1977 just for a minute because that was the year that I had a chance to watch my older brother Jay and Irvin Johnson play in a high school basketball game in front of 10,000 fans at the Jennison Fieldhouse. These guys were both 6'9", and I don't know if you guys remember what Jay and Magic looked like back in those days, but they had the big afros, kind of looked like Dr. J a little bit, but they were talented, and those games were packed, and they were exciting, and I'll never forget that game at Jennison Fieldhouse because that was the day that I decided, I'm going to try to be just like those guys. They were my role models. Watching them on the court battle, go up and down and do what they did, inspired something inside of me that said, I want to try to be like them. So they went on and then came to Michigan State. And when they came to Michigan State and won the championship in 1979, that was as special for our Lansing community as it was for the East Lansing community. And for me, it was clear that even though my phone was ringing, I was going to go to Michigan State. And I was going to continue to be, or try to be, just like those guys. So 1977 was amazing. It inspired me. It gave me the desire to not only play and compete, but to try to be a champion. And that's what I think Tom and Coach Izzo has brought to Michigan State basketball. There's a story I just want to share in closing. Before I left Libya coaching, I got a phone, a ping on my phone at about 4 in the morning. And usually when I go to bed, I put it on Do Not Disturb. But for some reason, I didn't put it on Do Not Disturb this night. And I looked over at 4 in the morning just to see who it was, and it was Jack Ebling. And I remember saying, what does Jack want at 4 in the morning? Well, Jack didn't know I was in Libya in a 7-hour time difference. So I looked over and I thought maybe there was going to be a message that I could read. And lo and behold, it was a voice note. So I had to actually play it. So I struggled to get over to the phone, and I played the voice note. And it was an interview that Jack had done with Irvin during the time that Magic was here for his dad's auto show. And the comments that Irvin made about Lansing, Michigan, and how important the city has been to our growth, development, the coaches, the infrastructure, the fans, the support system, the blue-collar city that Lansing, Michigan is, I couldn't get back to sleep. I stayed up and I thought about Lansing and what it was and how important the city has been to all of us to have a chance to play sports and get to Michigan State, because the Hall of Fame was a dream. It was a dream that has come true for me, and something that I would love to see every kid in Lansing have a chance to dream to achieve. So when I got here a couple days ago, I had a chance to get out and see what the current situation is around the Lansing School District. And I just want to say, after I looked around, I want to give Ben Schuldiner a real big round of applause. Okay? And I say that in sincerity, guys, because I'm a product of Lansing, Michigan. I went to Home Street Elementary. I went to Walter French, graduated from Eastern High School with a dream to get to Michigan State. And some of that dream may have gotten tougher for kids who want to play sports. But in seeing what Ben is doing in the community and what he's doing with the schools and the emphasis on academics as well as athletics, it's encouraging, okay? I had a chance to come back last year as the Grand Marshal and spend some time with Alan, which was just a real treat and a great time to be back home. And this time is even more special. So for the opportunity to be here and recognized as one of the top athletes that's on the wall now in the Breslin Center, I'm going to be smiling for a long time. So I just want to say congratulations to all of the other inductees. I'm so proud to be in this class with you. I wish you all the best. And like everybody else, go green.